Hello everyone, welcome to the next episode of PressL2Podcast. In this episode, we predict E3, even though it's already kind of started. But oh well, some semantics. Let's go.
Let's get this show on the road. Welcome to the E3 PressL2Podcast. Or PressL2Podcast.
It was PressL2Podcast.
Yeah, words are hard. Words are hard.
Very hard.
Anyway,
the podcast.
I'm Bowie.
Press E to I got it. Press E to 3.
Yes, press E to 3.
There we go.
I'll tell Altipi when he's editing it to make that the title. Anyway, I am Rowan. I'll be the host of this podcast today.
I'll be Bowie.
And we are joined by.
I'm Bowie. I'm the one that will really annoy you, and I mean really annoy you. I mean you'll want to personally murder me.
Yes, we get it.
Just
Who else
Allow
is
us
here?
to introduce ourselves. TMNIsaac at your service.
I'm Greeny Rock 92. Hi guys.
Hello.
And I'm Bacon.
My name is Yuki Mizuno.
Azran 127.
There's also a dog in here somewhere.
And it's not one of
Did
mine.
someone say bacon?
That's John Cartwright.
And finally, we have one more person who has not.
I'm Kirbun.
Alright.
I'm here talking at the beginning for once.
Wow.
Yay! I mean, this is my first time actually being on the podcast, which is hilarious because I'm hosting it.
This is
Anyway,
Me too.
so
the podcast.
Time too.
I've always been busy, and then this is the one time I'm actually not busy, and then the person who was supposed to host it unfortunately could not make it, and so they asked me to fill in their place. Anyway, so let's just get this show started by talking about our thoughts on what we think is going to happen at E3 from Microsoft.
Oh, at Microsoft, probably Cyberpunk, probably.
Oh, yeah.
I think I heard something about Battletoads for last E3, so maybe we'll get more details about that.
They
Yeah,
are probably
okay,
a
nice.
good number of games.
Are we thinking
I-
that the Battletoads game is going to be a remake? Is it going to be a sequel? Because it would be
Probably
nice
a
to see a remake
remake.
of it.
Little bit of both.
Probably
And-
both.
In terms
Maybe.
of Battletoads, the last time they got their own game was an appearance on Rare Replay, and that was about it.
That's
Wow.
true. I think Cuphead DLC will also be shown again.
I thought it
So-
already came out.
Has it?
I don't
It
actually
was on
know.
Switch.
I mean, no, it's something different.
hasn't,
They
then-
show something
yeah.
different.
Sure.
It's called The Delicious Last Course, which is DLC for.
Yeah, with Miss
I don't
Chalice.
remember that coming out, so maybe.
I don't think it's out
an
yet.
eternity ago.
So I was
I'm
thinking
not
they might
entirely
show
sure if
something
it's
about
out
that.
yet. If it isn't out yet, they're probably going to show it.
Yeah,
Maybe.
and
yeah.
also Psychonauts 2 might be shown with Jack Black because he was confirmed to be there. That
Okay.
Okay,
You
I
need
just-
Jack Black. Oh my god. I love the guy.
The weirdest
Orphans.
idea just popped into my head.
Hmm?
A pro wrestling game, an all elite wrestling game. I'm telling you, it will happen.
No.
Going back to a previous topic, I just heard the word Jack Black and like my mind was just racing. So it is very interesting that of all people to join up for a game, it's going to be Jack Black, and yet at the same time, it makes so much sense.
I mean,
So,
he has a
he's
gaming
been in the
channel now,
game
doesn't he?
before.
Yeah, he does.
That's
And plus,
amazing.
he's been a fan of the first game, for a very long time. I've known that for a while.
If you reverse his name, it's Blackjack. His name is a game. So of course he would be into games.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I never realized that.
Oh, wait.
The X-Files theme has
I
just
know,
started
either.
playing.
Oh, jeez.
God, what if this Jack Black thing is like a Tenacious D crossover?
What if it's Jack Black's Blackjack?
Can we actually have Jack Black
All the cards are
Blackjack
Jack
the
Black.
game, please?
I mean-
No,
All the,
no.
all the cards are just Jack Black.
Do you know what the sad part is? This is
Jack
the first
Black.
time I noticed the backup of the name, like Jack Black, Blackjack. Like
Yeah,
one of my
same.
favorite School of Rock, and it's like,
Same here.
how did I not know that Blackjack?
Hey guys, it's me.
No,
I'm
no,
back.
even better. It's
Sorry.
Jack Black, Flapjack, Backjack.
Black.
What?
Blackjack,
Jack Black, Jack White.
That ran out of steam
Jack-
about halfway through.
Jack,
Anyway,
no, Jack
let's try
Black's
and-
Blackjack backpack.
Brilliant.
Yes, that would
Also
be
featuring Backgammon.
He was in Brutal Legends, voiced the main character.
Conference.
Anyway,
There's
back-
also a
let's
Steam
let's
movie
just
with Kyle
go-
Glass.
let's just go
Yeah, let's
back
proceed
to
onwards.
getting to
Yeah, I'm
talking
sorry.
about video games. Although that was
I
a
just
very
think
fun
a casino
tangent.
game would slot.
Oh
Right
man, I
into the
can't believe we
Xbox
got
lineup.
we got.
Anyways, before we get to that, hi, it's me, Olimar again. Sorry about that. Had to go for a while, but I'm back now.
Hello.
E3 predictions.
Ooh, right on time.
So,
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on
going back
E3,
to
Olimar?
let's see, we have a remark that was mentioned by someone who wanted me to mention his remarks but could not make it. Dongle Dude has told me to tell everyone that he is amazed that Battletoads is being remade. Quote, "It is so amazing that this game of all games is getting revived. This day and age, side-scrolling beat-em-ups are getting rarer and rarer. To see Microsoft put faith in this dead franchise that even Rareware fans didn't want to see revived first is astounding. I hope it's a brand new game, but if it's a remake, that's cool too." Now, I personally think that I feel like it will be a remake. If that being said, I didn't actually see what they said last year at E3, but I feel like if they are going to do a remake, they are going to at least remaster. If they might remaster graphics, they might not. But what is important is that they're going to try and keep the Battletoads spirit of trying to kill you at every single moment, because that is the core. The core of Battletoads is the looming threat of death at every single corner.
I thought looms were a Rayman thing.
Actually, if I may speak, speaking of beat 'em ups, I've heard rumors actually that the Yakuza games may be coming to Xbox. I don't believe them, but I do think the PS4 remasters of the 3rd, 4th, and 5th games may be announced during E3, maybe during the PC gaming show.
Maybe.
This is kind of like
That
the
could be-
equivalent of hopefully, like, I thought I heard rumors a long time ago about Kingdom Hearts moving to the Nintendo Switch. Who knows?
Sorry.
Yeah, to be
I
fair,
mean,
if Kingdom
I
Hearts
wish it
made
happened,
it
but
to
it's not.
Xbox, couldn't other stuff?
And if Joker can make it to
with
Smash,
Kingdom
that means
Hearts.
Persona 5 is going to make it to Switch, right?
Well, that makes
Right?
sense if Joker already made it.
It probably would.
What if it's like the
Yeah,
DLC
Nintendo's
fighters
later.
are all from like characters whose games don't make it to the Switch?
There should just be like a waiting
I
room
mean,
for every single
Cloud
character
made
that
the
is on the
Switch
Switch but not
eventually.
on the Switch.
Cloud
I'm
made
sorry,
the
but
Switch.
I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
I do think Gorman.
That'd be funny.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
we
guy.
might get some Smash news at E3, but again,
No, I think
we're
we probably
gonna-
will
we're-
get
we'll
Smash
save
news at
we're
E3.
gonna save Nintendo for later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back to Microsoft.
Yes, Microsoft.
They
Those
might
weird
show,
American
or
people.
in the Willow of the Wisp, they might show that more, which is a neat game.
Yeah, it
And
does. The Ori games do feel like a pretty unique take on their genre and the general style of games that they
Yeah,
are.
they're very pretty, and they're also very hard.
Pretty is good. That's why my favorite game is Okami, because it's pretty.
Yeah, this one is kind of not the same style of pretty, but it's still pretty.
Pretty is good. That's the important part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Halo Infinite might come to the Microsoft.
Yes. We also have a one thing that was brought up in speculation mode, though I don't really see it possible, is possibly a new Xbox. I think
Xbox. We get
No.
Xbox too.
I was literally just going to say that. Xbox One.
No, it's going to be the
Xbox
Xbox
12.
11, so it's going to be the Xbox One.
Xbox 1, 2, 3.
Or Xbox
Or-
One 360. But
Or Xbox One
I-
Y.
No,
The-
Xbox
the one is
720.
The
No,
Xbox,
no.
That too.
Xbox
Yeah.
69.
Oh, God.
Comedy.
Xbox 420.
I really think though that the Xbone at the moment is a new enough console, and there is still momentum going for it. So I really don't foresee that being possible. They might tease
Yeah, I think they
something
just
for the
might
far
tease.
future.
I mean, they teased
But-
it last year by saying it exists.
Oh yeah.
We'll probably also get a release date for Gears of War 5.
Oh yeah. And I'm positive we'll see a car on the stage. Because there's always a car on the stage.
I thought we'd get a
'Cause
Coke on
America.
the stage last year, but
America.
Well, it's more
Yeah.
like for Forza, but whatever.
I
It's
mean,
pretty much.
oh yeah, also Forza. Forgot that Forza was the thing.
Yeah.
I
don't
played
play
Forza
much
once. Wasn't a fan. I prefer Mario Kart to Forza. But
Yeah,
I have
that
a
makes
friend
sense.
actually,
who really who
it's actually a fun story about E3 Microsoft. That there was an edit of a video made for the Xbox One reveal highlights where they were talking about when they revealed the Xbox One all those years ago. I think it was, 2013 or 2012?
Maybe.
Someone made a video just compiling every single time they said a few specific words, and it came out something like TV experience, TV, Xbox,
Wow.
watch TV, TV. And it's 2 minutes of that. And I thought are you still a video game console? Apparently they are, but it really
I
didn't
don't
sound
believe
like
that.
based on the
They're a
video.
TV company.
You could just watch Netflix on there or like
I still
Hulu. Just-
remember
Legit, in
taking
my
control
college
of
dorm, we did.
how to exchange games with the PS4, where it's like one guy just hands the game to the other as like you.
My friends and I in our college dorm literally use my roommate's Xbox as an overglorified DVD player.
I mean, that's a
Oh
good-
yeah,
that's
you
a
can
good-
do
It's
that.
amazing.
Yeah, I literally I have used that Xbox almost as much as I used my Switch, and yet I didn't play a single game on that Xbox just because I was watching It's Always Sunny that much. Anyway, is there any
Wow.
more that we want to talk about in the subject of Microsoft, or shall we move
Actually,
on
yes.
to our? Oh, okay.
Nope, I got nothing.
Okay.
I got nothing.
have
Azran has a
something.
something.
I'm pretty sure I got none.
Azran has a something though, so take it
Alright,
away.
So this is coming to me because of what we just saw with Google Stadia, how they did the Stadia Connect, and that came shortly after PlayStation started doing State of Play, and that is just a direct ripoff of Nintendo Direct. So that means if Xbox is going to announce new hardware, they're going to do it at their own, and I'm going to call it now and say it's going to be Xbox Express with an X.
Oh. You
I
like
just
the
wanted to
Nintendo
get that
Direct.
out there.
It'll be the Xbox Switch.
Xbox Express.
That's their
Xbox Reverse or 720.
You know, which
Xbox
reminds-
going in a circle,
No,
Yeah.
spinning in
That circle
circles.
the red
Anyway,
ring of death.
Next is Bethesda, right?
indeed. Next up is Bethesda.
Yeah.
So
Nothing of importance will be announced, and we'll all be disappointed.
One
Wait,
word.
what about Elder Scrolls 6?
That
You
mean
getting
Blade?
back to the PlayStation 5.
the fact of the matter that they're still able to milk Skyrim and kind of astounds me. I mean, personally speaking, I tried out Skyrim, wasn't a fan, but I mean,
Same.
Bethesda had come out with Elder Scrolls Online, which was based on Skyrim. There are all the ports of Skyrim, such as the one to the Switch and
Yeah.
to other consoles.
and fridges.
So I think that
I'm correct. I'm like
Bethesda's also
2000.
going, if memory serves, is not going through the best of times for them. A lot of the
Nope.
You
I-
mean there was a lot of Fallout? You
oh
don't say.
yeah,
For the 76th time in a row.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah, that franchise.
yeah.
What was it
Fallout
again?
fell out. Fallout fell out real good, but the fact of the matter is, not only was Fallout a train wreck, for lack of a better term, and
No,
for
that's
lack
Metro
of wanting to
Exodus.
be a pun, the fact of the matter is, we are seeing I'm majoring and studying game design right now, and I had to take a class on this. And one of the industry trends is moving away from the expansive single player game, which is more or less what Bethesda is best known for. Games like
Yep.
Skyrim, the Fallout games,
Mm-hmm.
etc. And so the fact that we are seeing a decline in popularity in this general genre is definitely going to harm Bethesda. So let's hope at E3, if for the sake of Bethesda's survival, that they are able to both remedy what was broken and like fix their reputation after Fallout, and also, making a game that people will buy.
Wait, why
Yeah.
is that an
I'm not
industry
gonna lie,
trend when
I
we
would-
had The
I would
Witcher 3
actually
and
start
Breath of the
playing
Wild
Fallout.
win awards?
I would actually start playing Fallout 76 if they got the RT games, just sing West Virginia as the background.
To answer your question, that while it is a general trend, but there are of course outliers to this. But I mean, Nintendo, that's kind of a different category. Nintendo's Nintendo. They could sell a bar of soap for thousands and make.
No, but
And
again,
people
The
will
Witcher
buy it.
3
That
won
bar
the
of
year
soap.
before that.
No, they would just sell candy. Ever see
But-
Nintendo branded candy anywhere else anymore?
I have. I've been tempted to buy it, but every single time I thought it's like, wow, this is probably a cash grab and will taste terrible. So I didn't. But I just kind of wanted it just to get the tin.
Yeah.
Like it was a little tin question mark block, and there also was there's a mushroom and there's a super mushroom. There's a 1-up.
There's also like Wonder Balls based off of Mario.
Oh,
But yeah, going back to the whole first player games thing. I mean, popularity of like bigger multiplayer games is definitely a thing. I mean, the everyone pray for mercy as I mentioned Fortnite.
Fortnite.
Yeah, unfortunately that
Fortnite.
is still a thing.
Surge.
Yeah.
But it is true that it is popular. It is popular and still going strong. And unfortunately, that detracts from a lot of the single player market. And while we do have these successful games such as Witcher 3 and Breath of the Wild, those are outliers in this overarching decline that we are seeing in this moment.
Just pull a Pokemon Sword and Shield and do both.
Bethesda also has Doom coming.
Mm-hmm.
They also
Returnal.
I mean,
Probably
there's
get
so
a
many.
final release for that as well.
I'm not sure it's possible not to be excited when you hear Doom is coming back, because it's Doom.
Such a good word to say.
It's
Hooray!
I'm
We're
gonna sing the Doom
Doom!
song now. No, I'm not good.
Why is there a squeaky toy going off in your mic, Bo?
I'm excited for the
I thought
Doom
it was
game
a
too.
bicycle horn.
Is it?
I was wondering what that was.
Yeah, I just saw like bling 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 and
It's okay.
his
Why did
name
you
lighting
make
up.
it
Like,
sound
I
like
have the feeling that
Sonic?
that we have another visitor in the form of Doggo. But yeah, Doom's gonna. I feel like Doom's gonna be good. I just have a feeling Doom's gonna be.
I can't think of
Doom
any
is good.
bad Doom game in
It's
general.
Doom.
but-
It's Doom.
Yeah,
You can't go wrong. Just gotta shoot aliens. There's no.
And
you
a
can't
blood
go
rain
wrong with
really
aliens.
good
Shooting
form.
aliens.
Shoot the aliens, on to the next one.
All right.
PC gaming show, right?
Next one, Johnny. You
Um,
betcha.
Who's Johnny?
Well, I mean, there is the PC. I mean, in the schedule, there's Devolver Digital and PC Gaming Show.
We'll
Yeah.
That being
Devolver.
said, That being
Devolver
said, I
Digital is
don't-
usually like a parody, so they're not really
that being
that
said,
important.
I don't have
give
notes
a
on
shit
either of
about
those.
them.
Let's see. Epic Games involved. So Fortnite, we've already discussed that.
We've discussed it enough just by saying the fact that it exists. Moving on.
Exactly. Can't
Moving
say it
on.
any better.
Pretty much. Moving on.
Actually, I do want to take a quick jab at Epic Games. Epic, please, can you make Unreal not crash every 5 minutes when I'm trying to develop in it? Thank you. Good night. Moving on.
Amen.
Um,
Sick burn.
Okay, so we got Ubisoft.
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 Too soft.
Beyond Good and
Those-
Evil 2.
Ubisoft.
That's what I'm thinking.
Those crazy Swedes. Pretty sure they're
in,
Swedish.
in the opposite of last year, I don't think we're getting Splinter Cell.
I think we're getting Beyond Good and Evil and like another trailer.
Beyond Good and Evil 2. Okay.
Maybe some gameplay. I don't know. It's been a while.
Beyond
Ghost
Good and Evil
Recon
2, this
Breakpoint.
time with more good and more evil. We also seem to have notes. We also have Ghost Recon, Watch
Breakpoint.
_Dogs 3, because the other two were great. Rainbow
Wait.
Six.
Only the second one I heard.
You mean to tell me Watch Dogs is still getting games?
Somehow.
This is
Somehow
new.
the IP's
I
going.
didn't know this until right now.
Oh, I
From
had no
Twitter.
idea.
Apparently, this is just a thing that I'm looking at on Discord. I didn't do research on this because I didn't know I was going to be part of this podcast until 2 hours ago.
So you're just
So-
winging it.
I think
And-
some of those notes are things that are being speculated about and not necessarily confirmed.
Yes, that is also true. So if Watch Dogs 3 is in fact speculation written in this just laundry list of video game names, the only thing I can really say about that is I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think the Watch Dogs IP is still strong enough that people will see it and be excited and just ready to throw their money at this game that doesn't really have that good of a reputation at the moment.
Which game are you talking about?
Watch Dogs.
Watch Dogs.
Oh, Watch Dogs, yeah. Not Watch Dogs.
Yeah.
No.
That pretty much sums it up.
Oh wait, no, it's actually confirmed.
Wait, really?
Watch Dogs is Watch
It's
Dogs
called
is
Legion.
Ubisoft's Millhouse.
Oh, no,
I
Legion.
am Legion.
Oh, no.
Watch
Our
Dogs
games
Legion
are
to be
many.
revealed at E3.
Okay.
To be fair, it's a lot better than what's announced, like Just Dance or like the other Nintendo crossover that's said to be coming next year.
I
The
think there
only
might be
game
a...
that
And to be
stayed for the
fair
Nintendo-
and to say something actually nice about Watch Dogs, because I haven't yet, in terms of the premise of the game, it's actually a really cool premise. The idea of hacking into stuff and not really being just like
in your face.
pew 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 first person shooter, but
Yeah,
actually
exactly.
hacking into things. They need to execute it well, because part of the issue with the first game was that it was bland and not executed well. And I literally couldn't tell you.
Better.
I couldn't tell you a single thing about the second one if I tried.
I mean, I only heard the good parts.
Yeah. That being said,
That's all I really heard.
yeah.
There might be a new Rayman. Who never knows? But that's just a hope.
Rayman would be.
Maybe.
There's
nice.
precedent to believe
I
that.
don't think so.
I mean, you never know.
Okay,
They might
but
sneak up
know.
on
Yeah, there
you.
could be
Could be
more
more
for
plus
Raven
rabbits.
there's
Rabbits.
actually a thing they're doing.
And
People
then
log into
what
their
better
Club
way
Newbie account
to
and watch a
expand
Rayman 2
Ubisoft?
speedrun, get a free copy of Origin. So that could be a sign that we're getting Rayman.
Maybe.
Ooh.
Like, what is
Maybe.
better than Origins and Legends? Like, what makes the next Rayman game extremely epic? Like Rayman
Well-
Mania or something?
I mean, they could just do something where they just take the same style of Origins and Legends and just kind of kick it up to 11, similar to what
Rayman Odyssey.
similar to what the new Super
Use
Mario.
love to become your enemy.
I don't mean like the. I just meant like in name, not like Super
Like,
Mario Odyssey.
We could see
Wow.
something similar to the new Super Mario Bros. Series, where they're all still 2D platformers.
Maybe a little bit of
add,
but
like,
they grow, they
arcade
develop. They developed because even though New Super Mario Bros. U is another 2D side scroller from Nintendo, there were still elements of it that made it feel fresh and unique. And so maybe they could do something like that.
Maybe.
Right? New Super Rayman Bros.
Rayman
Yeah,
4.
bring back the difficulty from the original PlayStation platformer. Or better yet,
Oh,
maybe
boy.
maybe some 3D elements from The Great Escape. But again, that was like almost 20 years ago for like all the consoles. But I don't recall Rayman having a 3D element to certain. I know for certain levels they do, but as a whole game in general,
2 words: nostalgia value.
yes.
Yeah.
We need the Raven Rabbits. We need the rabbits for like
Somehow.
kid mode for like party games.
Pretty
I
much.
like the rabbits.
Also because they're adorable.
Can't get enough of those lovable rabbits.
So
Yeah, those
Rayman DLC.
Wow.
terrifying, insane rabbits that will pretty much do anything and everything because
I like how they
Your
do
brains
calm
Rainbows
them
eat your
down.
ass, and I
Mario
don't
Rabbit.
mean metaphorically.
they're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. That's the best way to put it.
But-
Any other things that we want to discuss with Ubisoft?
Not really.
2 words:
2020
Assassin's
thing.
Creed.
No,
Oh yeah.
let's not talk about
Oh.
Assassin's Creed.
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah,
Now-
like
let's
stealth
not.
games with
I
no
know they
stealth.
come up with like some content each year, but who knows? They might throw another curveball, but maybe come up with a brand new open world game based on maybe modern times. But if it's not this year, maybe down the road because
Yeah.
they've gone through like a
I
ton of
want a new Assassin's Creed that's actually a goddamn stealth game.
Bring Assassin's Creed back to its origins, but not with Assassin's
Make it
Creed
Assassin's
Origins.
Creed like
Yeah.
Japanese and you can just
Assassin's
be a
Creed
ninja.
Origins, ironically, is just
Okay, in a
Assassin's Creed
Japan
the
environment,
furthest
I
from
like
its
that.
origins.
Yeah,
Just be a ninja.
or maybe more Assassin's
That would
Creed
actually be really
games,
fun.
but Nintendo Switch
Just
because it's kind of
Assassin's Creed, but ninjas.
Yeah.
Assassin's-
yeah.
Like that's just
Hire
the
me,
title.
Ubisoft.
Assassin's Creed, but ninjas.
Does anybody find it weird that the first Nintendo Switch-based game to get Assassin's Creed was 3 of all games?
Yeah.
You
I heard that's not
Ubisoft
the best
hates
one.
us.
That is pretty weird.
Ubisoft is like, you want a game? We gave you a game. Now shut up.
Yeah.
And the Yakuza
It's like take it or
games.
leave it. It's based on the American Revolution. You want to go back to the beginning? See you in another like 10 years.
I just like all the American Revolution-based fiction, not American.
I mean,
no, I'm kidding.
Does that
but,
include
you know,
Fallout 76?
that one likes Fallout 76.
Where were the
Fallout
previous
76 is a
72
Millhouse
Fallout
game.
games?
I had to mention it since you said Revolution.
Dogs are about to bark soon. My mom
Oh,
texted me. Coming here in 5 minutes. Great.
All right. Be prepared for the bork.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Oh,
Trying not to
boy.
mute my mic.
Funny
for
that we're talking about Ubisoft when I say that. Geography jokes.
Prepare
Anyway,
lots of bacon.
Square's next.
okay, Square Enix.
well,
Nothing
I'm gonna
I
free.
got
Final
lots to
Fantasy
say.
VII.
Switch again.
Squeenix.
Final
I got
Fantasy
lots.
VII, Kingdom Hearts.
Dragon Quest, that new Avengers game that they announced or teased.
Now, Will, before we start getting into new games, do you think there's going to be any like updates to their currently new but not brand new games, such as Dragon Quest Builders 2, DQ11, Kingdom Hearts
know
3? Do
about
you think
one.
we're going to be getting updates or any new
Well,
content
there's
in
the
those?
Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC called a Remind.
Wait, oh boy.
Maybe
This is gonna
based
add
might
more
show
on
information
to the
about
story,
that.
huh?
games, but I mean,
I don't know what the
did not
information
have
for it
movies,
is.
but
I just know it's a thing.
So maybe we could get more information on that.
I think they'll show the mobile prequel to Octopath Traveler that they announced.
Oh.
I still need to play Octopath.
Yes, you do.
I
I'm gonna throw
own,
something
I
out
own
there
it.
that
I have not opened it, but I own it.
I'm gonna throw something out there that's completely crazy. They're gonna put
Go for
Dragon
it.
Quest 1 through 6 on the Switch. Hopefully, that's just my hopeful dream.
The only thing for Dragon Quest for me, unless they put like the Super Nintendo version, then okay, I can see where this is going.
I
mean,
never
like,
really got
like a
into
big
it.
We
old
do have
one.
Builders 2, and correct me if I'm wrong, but also DQ11 on
It's
Switch?
coming
11
out
getting
soon. It's
definitive
coming in
edition in the
September.
fall.
Okay, it's coming, but has not come. So re-releases of Dragon Quest older Dragon Quest games are definitely
Nobody's confirmed that. That's just my dream.
possible.
I mean, they
That's
could
just my
also do
dream.
that through the Nintendo Switch Online app if they can get the rights to that.
True. That's true.
Oh, I will have something to say
Ooh.
about that when we get there. Oh
That's
boy.
true.
Anyway, Final Fantasy VII.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Basically, hey kids,
got-
you want Final Fantasy VII again? Here you go.
I mean, they're doing it a little bit different. Like the story's gonna be the same, sort of, and they're adding additional things. But the
Correct me
gameplay's
if I'm
different.
wrong, but we do not have a launch date for the Final Fantasy VII remake, correct?
Not
well,
yet.
it was
Episode
first
one.
issued.
Or release
it was
date.
first announced
No
back in
release date,
2015.
but at least we got a trailer saying more information in June, and it's now June.
Yeah, so Jen, I mean, I would assume that it'll be E3 news or news
Yeah.
at E3, considering
Yeah.
that, E3 is in June, and they said it's in June, and E3 is when they talk about games. Boom!
And plus
Mind
there's the
blow.
Final Fantasy VII orchestrated concert that's going on, and
Oh, I would
they're-
love to hear that.
I know it's
Orchestrated video
it
game
has such
music
beautiful
is so good.
I wish I could hear
Anyway,
it.
talking about Final Fantasy VII, we have another note from our dearly departed Dongle. He's not actually dead, he's just not here.
Oh,
Okay.
he's dead now. That's why I had to mute myself.
Oh no, he's dead to me just because he's not here. But he said, quote,
Aw.
to quote his words exactly,
To quote the dead
because-
fuck.
holy shit, this game blew my face off. The graphics are phenomenal. To see it revived after all these years is great. I hope we see remake Tifa. Please launch in November. Please launch in November. Please launch in November. That's all. So
You know what-
did I
you know
hear
what else
that
I
it will
want?
be launched in November?
You know what
I
else
think
I
you
would
might
like
want it to
see?
launch in November.
I would
But what
like
if
to see
it
them do
launches
the same
earlier?
thing to Final Fantasy VI.
The one thing I
But-
have to say about Final Fantasy VI, actually, it has been re-released on pretty much every platform known to man.
Yeah,
That-
but the mobile
including
ports
SNES
are
Classic.
The mobile
Final
port,
Fantasy
the
VI.
mobile
Yeah,
port
they were
Oh
like
my
for
dog.
Final Fantasy
Meh.
3 here.
Yeah, it's called. Well, the thing is about Final Fantasy VI is that when it was localized as Final Fantasy 3 because it was the third Final Fantasy to be released outside of Japan. So our 3 is Japan 6, which everyone just calls 6. So
yeah, 'cause we know now.
So the Final Fantasy that is on the SNES Classic, while it is titled Final Fantasy 3, is
Oh,
Final
yeah.
Fantasy 6.
I forgot it was on there. I'm sorry.
I haven't forgotten it because, as I said, I
don't have
one,
a
and I love
SNES
it.
Classic, so
I own it and I love it, and the
Yeah,
only reason why I
have-
don't want the games to be released on Switch is so that way I'm special.
okay.
Yeah, I have both the SNES
Alright.
and the NES Classic with me too.
I mean, my SNES Classic's just in my bedroom, and I'm currently in my living room because I have a really janky recording setup. Anyway, Final Fantasy stuff has been mentioned. There's also Kingdom Hearts 3, which we mentioned DLC. There's Dragon Quest. There's Babylon Babylon's
Oh.
Fall.
Oh,
Wait,
I
what?
got something else to say. In Europe, they actually trademarked the Secret Mana collection.
Oh yeah.
Switch.
The mono.
What's that?
Secret of
Secret
Mana.
Mana collection. It's like the first.
Collection. There's more than one.
Oh,
Secret of
Yeah,
Mana,
there's
Secret of
there's
Evermore.
multiple.
It's
There's
Oh.
a Secret of Mana
They
2,
trademarked.
which is called Saiken Desune 3. I don't.
Something
Saiken
Japanese.
Sensu.
Yeah, but it has a 3 in it.
Japan, the number 3. The
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
The breakfast cereal. So, with the knowledge that Secret of Mana has been trademarked in Europe, that could lead to some interesting things. Not gonna
Mhm.
lie about that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That got me excited because I don't really play games, but I would like to. But without playing the remake.
That being said, I mean, Secret of Mana is another game that I have on the SNES Classic that I haven't played. So, I mean,
It's one of Tim's favorites. And
yeah. I've heard great things about the game. I've also heard people say that its music is terrible. I've also heard people say otherwise. So who knows? Maybe it's a good game. Maybe it's not. There's
I
only one way to
started
find out
playing it,
that's
but I
playing
got
it yourself.
stuck.
yeah, exactly.
Hey,
Well, in my
50-50.
opinion, I'm not really
Take
of
your
an RPG
gamble.
person.
I actually do
so
have.
I tend to keep that in Final Fantasy VI on the my Super Nintendo Classic for one day when I decide to try it out. I'm not really much of a Final Fantasy person. Maybe I had
Mhm.
1.5 hour session of 6, but not Secret of Mana. There are some exceptions for RPGs I like.
I do kind of relate to that. I did try out Final Fantasy VI. I loved it, but I was very stupid when I was playing it because I decided it'd be a great idea to skip all of the dialogue, and then I got
Idiot.
lost. And
You
then
go. I go for the music.
I don't blame you. I've done the same thing in some RPGs. I am not much of an RPG person myself. I'm more for platform arcade-esque style games. And then especially for
Yeah, similar to what I enjoy as well. So I
Yeah.
can relate.
especially for
I
Pokemon.
gotta go. Sorry.
well, it was great having you.
Thank
Yuki?
you.
Yeah,
All
it
right,
was actually.
yeah.
You
I
were
put my
podcast.
predictions for Nintendo in the chat.
Thank
Okay,
you.
well, Roland
And
told
all right.
us
You're
about people who
And see ya,
didn't
Yuki.
Remember?
Bye.
See ya, Yuki.
Bye.
All right.
I
ya, Yuki.
Speaking of Nintendo,
Let's talk shit about Magic.
so anyone else have anything to say about what's going on with Square Enix, or shall we go to
Nintendo.
let's go to Nintendo.
In
All
a
right.
Nintendo match, please. But
Just
play
oh boy,
Octopath.
here we go.
First things first, Mario Maker 2.
I
Yeah.
am
Not
super
big
stoked.
show.
Oh,
I'm so
yes.
excited for that.
I'm looking forward to it too.
That's being released relatively soon. We got news during the most recent Direct, or most recent big Nintendo Direct. They added slopes. Everyone,
And that's why
everyone
it'll be
liked
in the
that.
sizzle reel, but not get any footage.
Yeah. Do you? It is possible that we might get some extra news, but considering that it was just recently revealed, and we did get a lot of information and an entire Direct about it.
Right.
I
And
don't
there's a tournament
foresee
on
that we're going to get
Saturday.
any. I don't
Tomorrow.
foresee that we're going to get anything new about Mario Maker 2, except maybe an update about the production.
For me,
Maybe.
for Mario Maker 2, I would say hopefully they would talk more for the multiplayer, especially for local than online.
Yeah.
That part definitely
What else do they
worries
need
me
to say, though?
for local versus online, I usually like local multiplayer in some of these games. And what if multiplayer is online only for this game?
It's confirmed local.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Definitely
Yeah,
want to make sure.
I do recall them mentioning local multiplayer during the Direct. And I mean, let's just be real. Pretty much everyone's hyped up for that.
Yeah.
Let's hope
you
that
can do local wireless to have your own screens, or you can do local same screen and it bubbles you like it does in the NSMB game. That's all
Okay.
confirmed.
everyone
One
wants
thing
the
I want to
bubble
say
button.
about Mario Maker 2, I know we are confirmed to have, along with the previous courses of Mario Brothers 3, World U, we got Super Mario 3D World. But I know this may be a long shot, but maybe down the road, if there is some sort of DLC, maybe create mini 3D type levels or from Super Mario 64 or other 2D platformers like say Yoshi's Island.
Something that did interest me actually when I was watching the Direct is the fact that they made an entire new style for the 3D World game, the 3D World levels. Yeah, that was the only 3D theme that they actually announced.
It's
And
basically 2D, but with
from-
like gimmicks.
From a design standpoint, it would take a lot of resources to make an entirely different style of games, especially considering that as soon as when you're working in 2D and you decide, nah, I want to do it in 3D world, you erase all your progress. So maybe I'm thinking that there might be more 3D world style level themes that are going to come out.
I see
I
what you
agree.
mean. More
but-
3D as opposed to full-on 2D platforming.
So I think what could be possible, and I feel like this might be a bit of a long shot, but I think it is possible, maybe not probable. And that is they transform something like Super Mario World or Super Mario Bros. 3 into a 3D space. And so they give
a crossover of games.
And so they give these old 2D games a 3D style, and so like your 8-bit Mario in 3D.
I like that.
I think
have
that
a
would be
different
really
theory.
interesting.
That's interesting.
I
like
think
that.
3D World is going to be the only one at launch. But
Oh,
we're
yeah.
going to see paid DLC much later, and it's going to be for a 2D version of Super Mario Odyssey, which will include throwing Cappy, jumping on him, and capturing enemies.
I
could
was
also-
thinking
I
the
like
same
that too.
thing. So I
People
figured it
think
might
I'm
be like some
crazy for
kind of
thinking
reward or
that, but I
something.
still think it.
I think it might work.
It could definitely work. Making your own
Yeah, it
3D or Odyssey style levels, and instead of getting to a flagpole or a Bowser
And
X or
Odyssey would
something,
be
you get to
compelling
a
enough for
moon.
people to want to buy it as DLC.
Especially considering people still play and talk about Odyssey.
Yeah.
And especially
Because
with
it's a
the
good game.
Pokemon.
Yeah, it's a dang good game.
Anyway, so next on the list of games that I see in my thingamabob list, that's the word. Words are hard. It's Fire Emblem 3 Houses. We got a long trailer for that in one of the recent directs, and then
Yeah, I'll say.
quiet.
I'm not expecting much from it. I think it's just going to come out.
I'm not really much of a Fire Emblem person, like again with RPGs, but maybe
Me neither.
if there are new characters
Me
coming
free.
to Fire Emblem, they'll eventually become Smash characters.
With the way it's going, probably.
Yeah, since
I
most
just don't
like
think
most of the
it needs to
roster
please.
during Smash Ultimate is basically characters from Fire Emblem.
Fire
So here's what
Emblem,
I think,
Mario
though.
World, Pokemon.
I don't think we'll hear anything about this because the direct covered quite a bit, unless there's a multiplayer.
A multiplayer mode in Fire Emblem?
It could be a side versus mode that you play against someone locally, or it could be like co-op missions. But either way, I think it'd be separate. from the main
Well, with
campaign.
the
I fail to see how that
the
would
gameplay,
work.
I actually disagree. I think it would be. I think it'd be very interesting to have a multiplayer Fire Emblem game. Just
Right,
'cause
Mario
the
Plus
idea
Rabbids
of
did
Right? We can have
Um,
like a battle mode.
so there. I think that it is possible
that might
that Three Houses could get some kind of multiplayer. I don't think it would be co-op. I think it would be versus, and more importantly, I think it would be something kind of house versus house
Yeah,
kind of style.
sounds
Yeah.
Make it more like
Right. That makes
Famicom
more sense.
Wars.
and then that explains why no one actually dies in versus mode is because it's a friendly competition and they're just sparring.
Yes, I am sparring when I
Yeah, that's
stab
good.
you directly through the chest. It's all in good fun. See, you're fine. You're fine. What? Your heart is bleeding out? No, that's just the spirit of the game. Anyway,
The spear.
As a-
All going to another
I'm
dimension.
dying, I'm dead.
hi dying, I am dead. That's a feel. That's such a feel.
Dimitri, more like die me.
All right. Next thing on the list of games that I'm seeing right now is Marvel 3 Ultimate Alliance.
Oh, buddy. Marvel.
I got to go back to playing like one of the original ones for the 360 just to anticipate it.
There are multiple Marvel games? in that
There were
style?
2 Marvel Ultimate Alliance games for the Xbox 360 in the mid 2000s.
There's
Oh.
also like their crossover with Street Fighter. For
Yeah, Marvel
arcade.
vs. Capcom.
Yeah.
And Lego,
The
of
only reason
course.
why I know about Marvel vs. Capcom is because for some reason people keep bringing up Marvel vs. Capcom 3 in the most weird of times in my life. Specifically, only 3. I don't know. Anyway, so this is a game that I don't really have anything to speak about, so I'm just gonna
Me neither.
go off into the wild.
And I'm definitely excited for that game to come out since I like Marvel properties.
The second Ultimate Alliance, by the way, came out 10 years ago. So think between like 2009 and right now in 2019, so much has happened in Marvel that the number of characters has expanded, especially with the 2 Avengers movies and then the Guardians of the Galaxy.
MCU. In the past 10 years, think about how big the Marvel Cinematic Universe has gotten. I mean, in 2009, what we had? Iron Man,
Hulk, and Spider-Man, although that hardly counts.
Yeah, that's it. Now we have multiple Avengers movies. We have Thor. We have Captain America. We have
There's a Cloak and Dagger TV
Ant-Man,
series, but
Black
I know that's not
Panther,
part of the game.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
The list goes on. So I think that this could this is going to be a big boost in terms of Marvel in the video game sphere.
Big time.
Agreed.
Yeah.
At least on the Nintendo side.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. Next thing on the list is Astral Chain. Does anyone have anything to say about Astral Chain aside from Dongle? Because he was the one who made this list.
Never heard of it.
No.
Never heard of it.
I haven't heard of it either.
It was at the
Cool.
February Direct. It got a release date. It's a new Platinum IP. It looks awesome.
Pretty much. What he said is, quote, "Let's get to the good shit. Astral Chain looks..." I'm actually gonna cut down his language a bit because he speaks like a 10-year-old on
Sailor. Oh.
Yeah,
it's like a sailor on
I was
a
gonna
bad
say like a
day.
10-year-old on Xbox Live when he gets excited. Decent plot from the looks, platinum gameplay, new IP. I know a lot of
behind Bayonetta.
So it definitely has potential. It is a game with potential. Now, I don't really have anything much to talk about that because I mean, we did like hear about it. We did see it in the direct, but we got a decent amount of information from that,
including a release date.
I about to say, including a release date. But aside from that, there wasn't really much to talk about there.
Do they really need to show any more, though? It's an action game. Story's not going to be that large. Don't want to give too much away. Only thing they can really add is what we already know from the eShop listing is that 2-player is indeed a thing.
Yep. I also regret to inform everyone that Bowie has dropped the call because it stopped.
You can't hear him?
Yeah, he dropped because apparently his mic just stopped being functional. And so it's like, well, I guess I'm just going to leave. So, with that in mind, we have something to say about indies.
You guys haven't. You take it away.
Well, I don't have much to say about indie games aside from the fact that Baba Is You is amazing.
Woo!
And I don't really. We might get like a showcase.
Steven's supposed to be
showcase
streaming that tonight with Mal.
Ooh, but we'll probably get some kind of indie game showcase. But
Actually,
I don't think
there's a picture they put out that shows what games are playable, and next to Thursday it says Indie Game 2019. It might be that their third day is all indie.
Ooh.
The only indie games I can think of off the top of my head is an eventual release of Super Meat Boy Forever, and also the new ukulele title, which we found out.
I did when I was at PAX this year. I did try out the Auto Runner Meat Boy. I believe that is Forever. And it is actually a very fun, very difficult game that still has the spirit of the Super Meat Boy IP. And that will be exciting to see on Switch, because I believe it is coming out on Switch.
Prepare to get your thumbs sore again.
Pretty much prepare to die when you play that game.
Literally.
You're going to do it a lot. You're going to do... Yeah, it is
try to
very
outdie
difficult.
try to outdie on like Cuphead, then compare to Super Meat Boy, and then we'll see results.
Is it bad to say that I can't make it past the first level of Cuphead?
Don't worry, I can't either.
Now, look, there's actually several indies that have been announced and we haven't really seen much about. Cadence of Hyrule is probably going to be shadow dropped the same day as the Direct. My friend Pedro, Sayonara.
Ooh,
Wild
yes,
Hearts
Cadence
was
of
shown at the
Hyrule.
Game Awards last year.
Oh, yeah.
Haven't heard anything from that since.
When Necrodancer is like, what if we are Zelda now? That's going to be something special.
Hyrule is that I hope to God that Family Jewels does a metal cover of the soundtrack.
I want Family Jewels to be the metal soundtrack.
Well, that's exactly with Crypt.
Yeah, he did do the music for Crypt, and it was awesome.
That's basically my mark my words.
Yeah, mark my words. Cadence of Hyrule will be awesome. Anyway,
And it will be shadow dropped on the day of the direct.
Speaking of more games, Hollow Knight. Anything new happening for Hollow Knight? We still are getting DLC for the game.
No, Silksong's a sequel.
Oh right, forgot about that until you mentioned it right now.
Uh-huh.
That's gonna be that's gonna be interesting. That's definitely gonna spark some stuff. Just because Hollow Knight was a huge breakout hit for Cherry, and Silksong is probably going to be good. I can almost guarantee it's going to be good. In fact,
Alright, I can see us seeing it there.
Now I don't really have anything else to say about that, but we do have Smash DLC.
We're going to see Smash DLC at E3. I guarantee it.
About
at least one.
I'm not going to ask, do you think we're going to see Smash DLC at E3? I'm going to ask what Smash DLC we think are going to.
Well, should we also address? Do you think it'll just be one character or two?
I think
it's going to be
one.
I think it's going to be one.
Yeah, it's probably going to be one.
Yeah, I mean, some people are saying they need to do two because there's not much time until February 2020. But even if they only do one, they can still do another one every 2 months and make that done.
Yeah.
And the question is, which one would make it?
People are speculating a few candidates, but some of the big ones include Banjo, which I think could happen.
Yeah, I think it's going to happen.
I think Banjo and Kazooie, not Banjo Kazooie, that's the name. Banjo and Kazooie could be. It's actually really funny how similar that is to Duck Hunt. But fact of the matter is, that used to be a Nintendo IP-ish. I mean, Rare used to work.
Like Microsoft bought the rights to it,
and then.
But they also said that they would be okay with it.
Yeah, that's why I think it's going to happen.
It would just be really funny if they also bring in Conker somehow.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
Conker is not what we call a family-friendly IP, but
not on the
or a
N64.
very well-known IP either.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't know a single person who doesn't love Conker who knows about it. Anyway, Banjo is a possibility. I've heard people, and I'm 90% sure that people are saying this as a joke, but seeing how many people are talking about it, I feel like it's not Steve from Minecraft.
I hope that doesn't happen.
I'm pretty convinced that people say people are saying that as a joke, but there are a lot of people talking about that.
Yeah,
so
I'm very
people
people
just say it
talking
because
about
Minecraft is a huge name and it's been released so many times, including on Nintendo platforms.
I mean, Minecraft is on Switch, right?
Yeah,
it is.
And new 3DS.
All right, the new.
Oh yeah,
it's on the new 3DS.
I forgot about that.
Story mode is on
the new 3DS. Yeah, I remember.
Game.
Yeah. Speaking of story mode, Rip Telltale. Just had to mention that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for Monkey Island.
Let's see. People were saying Goku, but then they were like, "Oh wait, no, that's not going to happen," because Sakurai had said that they have to originate in a video game, and Goku.
Yeah, for some reason people still forget that.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I know it's a long shot.
How would that work?
What about? I know this is a long shot, but what about Gino?
He had a spirit. That counts.
He did have a spirit. You're right.
I mean, we don't know if spirits deconfirm or not.
They don't, because some of the fighters in the game have multiple spirits.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
All right. Moving on from Smash, we have Luigi's Mansion 3. This is another one that's similar to Fire Emblem Three Houses in that we got some information at the during a direct, and then never heard about it again.
Well, that one was longer ago. It didn't get its own direct, and
it didn't.
Saw barely any.
I think we're going to be getting some news about Luigi's Mansion 3.
And I think it's
gonna
on the show floor. We have to.
I think it's coming out this year, even.
Especially since Luigi's Mansion hasn't got a game ever since 2 on 3DS.
Yeah, or known as Dark Moon for those Americans like me.
And me.
It got 1 on 3DS though. That was a game, right?
But that's a remake. That doesn't. That's not a new game. That's a new old game. That's different.
You said a game, not a new game.
Don't put my words back into my mouth.
Wait, they had an arcade game. I was about to say, wait a second.
Oh, I played that.
Yeah, I
I
played that
haven't.
too.
Where the heck do you find those?
I actually found one at a Chuck E. Cheese because I brought my sister there one day.
Wait,
I played the game
show me
during
this
David
Chuck E.
Buster's.
Cheese.
All right. Moving on to the game that I need in my life more than
Animal
anything.
Crossing?
Animal Crossing.
All right.
We got even less information about this than Luigi's Mansion 3, and that's
All we
pretty
know is that-
impressive.
All we know
only-
is that, hey, this is gonna happen this year.
Literally the only thing we got so far in any directs or anything is that it exists and it's coming out in 2019. So
Yeah,
I'm
alongside
expecting
Isabelle being Smash.
I'm expecting I'm not just expecting news. I'm expecting a lot of news coming from this. And that's not just because
Like a Smash
literally
sized segment.
I'm not quite a Smash Ultimate size, but certainly something special, considering we've gotten nothing from this, and especially thinking about the fact that the most recent Animal Crossing, like main style Animal Crossing game, was New Leaf.
It was New Leaf.
Because I don't count Welcome Amiibo as a new game.
No.
Yeah,
since-
not really.
And
It's just-
between New Leaf and now
Yeah,
we've
screw
had
Amiibo Festival.
We've had Amiibo Festival, which is a meme at this point. We've had
My
Happy
mom
Home
actually
Designer,
loves that
and
game
we
bought all the amiibo because
I
of it.
forgot about Happy Home Designer.
we've had Happy Home Designer, which that was actually the perfect way to describe Happy Home Designer. Is I forgot about it,
It's
and
possible.
Oh, you did.
and we had Pocket Camp. None of those are Animal Crossing games in my eyes.
Sim?
So for the fact that the most recent Animal Crossing game was 7 or 8 years ago, I'm expecting
It
I'm
was
expecting
like
a lot from
6
this
years
one.
ago.
New Leaf came out in 2012 or 2011, I believe. I can't remember which
I thought
one.
it was 2013.
No, because I bought it in 2013 and it was old by then.
Oh.
That being said, I'm expecting some news on this front. And
If there's one thing I want in Animal Crossing for Switch, I want to be able to use sharp and flat notes in my town tunes.
Same, so much. My town tune.
Gee, I wonder if
I
the
just
guy
kind of
who
made
had
it
the
up as I
musical
went
note
along,
for
and
an
then I just
icon agrees
if I make it roundabout by yes. And so my town tune was do 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 do. This is a lot more difficult than you'd imagine. And I hope that they expand what is currently there. I do hope that they keep the idea that you're a mayor and not just the villager, because New Leaf was the only Animal Crossing game that I actually got to play, but I played that for almost 500 hours with only one town and one villager. So you could see how I like Animal Crossing. And
Okay, so
I like it too.
And
I remember I first
you know
played
what
New
I
Leaf in
want them to add to the
2015.
mayor role?
What?
I want it so much. Might not happen, but terraforming.
what I would want.
Terraforming?
It would
Yeah,
be cool
you know,
to have
I want to be
add
able to
landscape.
make hills, make ponds, rework the village into the way I want it to look
I
on
see what
that
you mean.
level.
That would be really interesting. I'm not sure you would be able to do village water stuff, just because the mechanics of fishing. You could just make a river village and then not be able to do anything. But you'd be able to fish a lot.
I mean,
Then
look,
again,
there'd
I
have to
fish a
be
lot.
limits, and it would have to be pretty costly, but I think it could work.
Mhm.
So in other
One
words,
thing that
SimCity.
I would love, one thing that I would absolutely love, the ability to have a bigger town. 10 villagers is simultaneously a lot and not many. Like you could do a lot with 10 villagers, but at the same time, it'd be really cool to have an Animal Crossing town with, say, 15 or 20. Especially considering when I was playing it a lot back in a while ago, one of the goals that I had was, since there were 8 different personalities of animals, I wanted to get at least one of each, and especially considering you could only get certain public works projects in New Leaf from specific animals with specific personalities. And it would be nice to be able to have more villagers, just because, even though there are only 8 personalities, so in reality there are only 8 animals. No, there's not. Each one still somehow has their own personality, despite the fact that there are only 8 personalities, which is impressive to say the least.
I mean, when you spend 7 years between games, I think you've got enough time to flesh out the character.
I just have really high hopes for Animal Crossing Switch, and once it comes out, you will never see me again, unless you decide to visit my village, in which case you will.
Well,
All
you
right.
name your village.
Moving on,
SimCity.
Link's Awakening.
Wait. One more thing about that.
All right.
You know how Nintendo's been theming their booth? They did it with Breath of the Wild, Odyssey, and then Smash.
Oh, please theme it to Animal Crossing.
That's what
Animal
I was
Crossing
so
thinking.
happy.
Alternatively,
That would make me so
they
happy.
could also do it around Luigi's Mansion if they
Mhm.
want to go for a spooky theme, or
I
Link's
mean,
Awakening if they want an island theme.
when
but
I
Animal
was at
Crossing just feels
PAX,
right.
when I was at PAX East, their area was Crafted World because it was coming out during PAX, and I did play the demo, and it was amazing. And so I really, really, really hope that Animal Crossing is the big thing for now, because man, I just want it. I want it, and I need it, and I love it. And I mean, god damn it, I need to get a new village where I can make all the animals start saying Valar Morghulis, because that's what I made my greeting for all my animals. Anyway, moving on. Link's Awakening remake.
Well, all I can say
We're
is
probably
like,
gonna see a lot more of it.
I did not see that coming.
Me neither.
I-
Especially in
yeah,
that art style.
I
thought-
am pretty. I know the art style is very hit and miss among people, and to be fair, that's also what happened with Wind Waker back in the day. Because during E3 in 2000, there was a demo for a realistic looking Zelda game, and that turned out to be Twilight Princess. Whereas what we got was Wind Waker, and people were like, cartoony art style, how terrible! But at the same time, Wind Waker turned out to be a fantastic game.
And it's
And
aged
that's-
well.
It's aged, in my opinion, better than Twilight Princess. That being said, I'm not a fan of the art style of Link's Awakening.
You know what? Me
only-
neither.
And the only thing I have to say about that is just the fact that everything looks like it's made of plastic. It really, and that is a blessing and a curse, because it does give the idea that it's almost as if they're it's a child playing with the little Link doll. And
I
it
don't
is
like
really
that
cute.
it doesn't look like he has a mouth.
But I just don't like it. Just feels off. Everything feels off. Even Toon Link, there's something about him that still feels really Linky.
Link E.
Yeah, Linky.
Linky.
Not lanky, Linky. But
Linky.
there's something about the Link's Awakening Link that just rubs me the wrong way. I mean, just the art style in general. That being said, I have the feeling it's going to be an amazing game.
I have a question.
I have an answer.
Okay, so if it was a straight 1-to-1 remake, would it be worth $60?
No.
No.
It is a remake of
I
a
have
Game Boy
Awakening.
game. Not a Game
A
Boy
lot of
Advance game, a Game
Sites are
Boy
listing
game.
this at $60, and unless that's going to change, what do you guys think they could add to this to make it worth that?
I think they can try to include the original, but my preference is the Game Boy Color version, especially DX. And
Will it be a bundle? Will it be a bundle with other Legend of Zelda games?
Like the Oracles or Minish Cap?
Mm-hmm.
I think-
Because thinking about it, yeah, Link's Awakening as a game, it's a good game. It's a great game for that matter. But it's not a $60 game right now. And yes, they did completely remaster the graphics and probably also changed up the actual controls to be more fluid and more better.
And have more buttons.
But, I mean, it really isn't a $60 game at the moment. So maybe they could be announcing that it's actually a bundle with a remastered and similar Minish Cap or Oracle or
Ages and Seasons.
something.
Maybe even that third canceled game.
So I've had a couple other thoughts. I mean, that was one thought I had about the bundle. So I agree that could happen. But I've also thought, what if there's a second island? What if you finish Koholint and then suddenly, surprise, they doubled the length of the game?
What if you have Link's Awakening 2, this time even more awake?
Link's Awakening 2, The Awakening.
The Awakening!
Oh, no.
And in the sequel, you meet Lucina, Crom, and many other favorites from Awakening.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, stop this!
All
Link
right,
is
Legend
now
of Zelda.
relevant.
Link's
We
Awakening
actually-
2.
Link's Awakening
Whoa.
actually just becomes Fire Emblem Awakening, and it's just, and the whole thing is just Fire Emblem Awakening on Switch. We figured out your code, Nintendo.
Wait,
It'll
Lucina
be the
wakes
last
up
game in the
and
series
was
unless it
just
sells
dreaming
well.
the whole time about her Link.
God, please. I can't even drink water because I'm laughing right now. Okay, moving
Wait, I
on.
have one other idea.
All right.
They include a
boy.
randomizer mode.
I'm so glad that I was able to swallow my water because I almost spit it. That would actually be very interesting with the popularity
It
of
would give the
randomized.
game infinite replay value, right?
Well, nigh infinite. There is a finite number of options. It's just that there's a lot.
And at least a lot more than what it
One.
would have otherwise.
There's a lot more than one. But Ooh, I mean, a built-in randomizer would be very interesting. So there's rumors like Bayonetta 3, Prime
Not happening.
Trilogy, Prime Trilogy, possible. Persona 5 Switch,
Not happening.
pretty much. SNES Online.
I think this SNES
Eventually.
Online
Hopeful,
thing
but
will
I
happen.
doubt it.
Um,
I think it's
I thought they
then-
said it was happening at some point, but they just keep putting it.
But interestingly, things that have been mentioned that we've gotten nothing for in a long time, particularly Pikmin 4 and Metroid Prime 4.
Oh yeah, I heard
Wait, we got
Pikmin.
something
Or
on
not
Metroid
Pikmin.
Prime 4 that we
Yeah,
know they
Metroid Prime 4 is
restarted it.
getting delayed. We don't know anything about Pikmin 4.
Unless it was Hey Pikmin.
No,
Yeah.
it wasn't Hey Pikmin.
There is that school of thought where people are.
If it
starting
was
to
Hey
think
Pikmin,
that
I will
by
be
Pikmin 4
I
is
will
Hey
be a
Pikmin.
sad person.
I know someone else who'd be sad.
I know a few people who would be, particularly someone whose first name is Wax and ends with ol. For those of you
I know
who don't know
someone-
what I'm talking about, that is Waxel.
I know someone whose like name starts with A and ends with Low who would be sad.
Anyway, if Pikmin 4 is not Hey Pikmin, do you think we'll finally get at least something on it this year?
Nope.
It's been a long time.
And it's gonna keep being a
Dropped my
long
water
time.
bottle.
It's gonna be a long time. It'll be a longer time.
And Prime 4 as well. Do you think we're going to be getting more news for that?
I would say
Maybe.
briefly.
I-
not by much.
I think it is possible. Is it probable? Who knows? But I think everything that we've talked about is at least marginally possible to some degree for the most part. I mean, I don't think Link's Awakening meets Fire Emblem Awakening is actually going to happen.
No.
But I do
I
don't
didn't
either.
mean that one.
not only but I mean,
I don't
yeah.
think it'll
That
happen.
would be a
But
good April
I
Fool's
think it is
prank.
I think it is possible that we're going to see some Pikmin 4 news, some Prime 4 news. And I'm hopeful for both. Particularly because Pikmin is a series that I've been very interested in that I have yet to get the chance to play.
So do you think they would port the other Pikmin games first?
I
Pikmin
don't know.
trilogy.
I don't think Pikmin 3 is going to be able to get on Switch. I
Are you
feel like
saying that because of the gamepad? Because I feel like
Yes.
that's fixed by a pause menu. Whenever
I mean,
you use
yeah,
the
I mean,
gamepad map,
I thought
the
that
game
Mario Maker
paused.
couldn't get on the Switch. I'm happy to be
True.
proven wrong.
Yeah, anytime
So-
you went on the gamepad to command one of your captains, the game would pause itself. So as long as you put it on the pause menu, nothing.
pretty much, actually. It would be nice to see Pikmin ports. Or Portman. Pikport. Puns. So,
Are they?
Um,
Are they really?
no, they're not. They're terrible. They're terrible wastes of space, like I am. So final thoughts on Nintendo? Anything else that people want to talk about?
In terms of like what Nintendo would accomplish, I would still say the SNES Switch Online thing is going to happen. For instance, it's been since the NES one has been going pretty slow with like 2 games at a time. And if it's possible that the SNES thing would happen, I would recommend if they put like Super Mario All Stars plus Super Mario World as the starting point, if it would actually happen. And that's
And
where my
then for,
thoughts are.
if SNES Online does happen, we could probably expect to see Earthbound again. We could see maybe Super Mario RPG. We could see Yoshi's Island.
Yeah. And then Donkey Kong.
I'm pretty much just rattling off the library of the SNES Classic.
Yeah, I'm just looking up some other SNES online.
The greatest golf game to ever be created, Kirby's Dream Course.
Yeah.
But I think my final thoughts when it comes to Nintendo are: it is curious that Luigi's Mansion 3, Animal Crossing, and a few other titles have been teased, but nothing yet has been mentioned. But we know that they're coming out this year. And so I think we're going to be getting a lot of news about them during this E3 and during the Direct that we're going to have. And I'm excited.
I'm excited for it too. I think Nintendo other stuff might happen, especially with Animal Crossing.
have
Yuki
mentioned-
Mizuno had some predictions that
Oh, right.
she posted before
Yuki-
she left.
She
Some
did.
of which we haven't addressed.
So, the Smash DLC announcement, her personal hopes include, but are not limited, are Sora, the Black Mage / Vivi, Banjo-Kazooie, Dragon Quest representative, Amaterasu, Shantae, Travis Touchdown, Professor Layton, and Gino.
Waiting for Smash.
Travis could be very interesting, actually, from No More Heroes. Because No More Heroes, despite the fact that it is not it is a very beloved, albeit somewhat forgotten IP.
Yeah, it's definitely not for kids. That's all I'll say.
Neither's Persona.
Touché.
And yet Joker's in Smash.
And Snake's in Smash.
Let's see. She mentioned Link's Awakening footage. We'll probably be getting more about Link's Awakening. Bayonetta 3. That's,
which I don't disagree with.
she mentioned Astral Chain.
Don't see why.
Shin Megami Tensei 5. Is this still a thing? I freaking hope so. I don't know. Animal Crossing for Switch. I think we talked about that a little bit.
Just a bit.
I'm not sure. She mentioned Pokemon Sword and Shield. Now,
that's the thing I wanted to talk about. If we wanted to squeeze in what we thought of that direct.
We can do that. We could do that in a bit. But personally speaking, I don't think we're going to be getting more information about Sword and Shield at the...
Not until August 31st, the date on the back of that gym leader shirt. Aha.
Yes.
Hey.
A Tales game for Switch. A Tales of game.
Okay.
Interesting. Game Freak's Town. I have no idea what that means. More info on...
Oh, that's an RPG that they announced sometime last year.
I didn't realize Game Freak made games that weren't Pokemon anymore.
Occasionally.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that until now.
More information about Dragon Quest XI on Switch. We'll probably get at least something about that. Ishiro announcement, a canceled PSP game from Level 5 that was announced to be returning sometime soon for the Switch. And then Persona 3 and 4 ports to the Switch, maybe 5 as well. That would be cool. And information on Scramble.
Scramble, I agree with. The ports, not so much.
Yeah. The ports are at this point a pipe dream in my mind. We're going to be getting some information about Scramble soon, maybe during the E3 Direct, maybe during Direct after, if there's one in, say, July or August. But one thing is for sure, we will be knowing more about Persona 5 Scramble before it comes out, whenever it does. I believe. Did they put it? If memory serves that they did put a release date, it was September or October. I can't remember. My memory works in mysterious ways in that it doesn't work. Anyway, so that was what Yuki had asked to talk about that we didn't get to talk about. And now...
Dark Cloud 3.
I think we can close off this podcast by talking about what we think about the Sword and Shield Direct, because I have a lot to say about it.
For reference, the Direct aired 2 days ago, right?
Yes, the Direct aired 2 days ago. This is being recorded on Friday, the 7th of June, 2019. The current time is 7:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
My time zone is 4:16.
That's not my time zone. But, I love Pokemon. I really do. I didn't play Moon for the simple reason of I bought it during a particularly busy time during my life, and then I kind of forgot I had it. But when I saw the Direct for Sword and Shield, I was not impressed. Personally speaking, I thought it felt like a lot of the design for the felt as though they're running out of ideas for new Pokemon, because we're up to over almost 900 now. It's very hard to make unique.
You may very well get to 1,000.
It's very hard to make unique designs when you have 900 unique designs that you have to consider. But it really does show, in my opinion, especially especially some of the,
especially the sheep.
Yeah, Wooloo is adorable, but
it's just pretty
that's pretty much all it's got going for, really. But
there's also like the legendary Pokemon announced right at the end of the Direct, where it's like 2 wolves, it's like one with a sword
in its mouth and the other with a shield on its face. First up, we already have a shield on its face Pokemon. It's called Bastiodon.
Yeah.
Second of all, I mean, it's just kind of strange that it just has a sword in its mouth.
I was not expecting that.
That's the part I don't like about this sword god.
I mean, it's a sword-wielding Pokemon, but we had can't remember the name, not Excavalier, but Bisharp. They were part of its body. The blades were part of its body. And
Yeah.
so,
I thought you were
I
going to
mean,
go for
usually
Honedge.
speaking, Pokemon, when they have implements of some kind of weaponry, it's usually part of their body. I mean, we also had
Or Honedge, it is the body.
Honedge or Genesect. But with this, I mean,
Yeah.
like, is it going to be a Spoink situation where if it drops the sword, it just dies?
I
No,
think it
I don't
is.
feel
Because
like
it just,
it would.
it's
That
just
would be
bizarre.
pathetic.
And
Be
all,
funny.
but I know this is a really nitpicky thing to say. I don't like the names. The names of the Pokemon, pretty much the only name of any Pokemon that I like so far from Gen 7 is, or Gen 7,
mean
what am I
8?
talking about? Gen 8 is Sobble, and that's just because it's hilarious.
Sobble.
Okay,
The
so I think I
Sobble.
actually
It's
figured
just
out
because it's
where the
a
names
depression
came from.
Pokemon. It really
Yeah.
feels like a lot of the names are just keyboard bashes with vowels put in to make them pronounceable.
Okay, actually, Zacian, I figured out that Jian is a double-edged Chinese sword, and I think that's where the name comes from. It also sounds like cyan, which is the color blue, and that's the blue version of the game. Zamazenta, the only thing I can come up with is that it's kind of like magenta, which would be the corresponding red color against
Yeah,
cyan.
Zamazenta really sounds like what a 14-year-old writes in a fictional story for an English class when they
Or a
can't come up
Dragon
with the
Ball
name of a
fanfic.
villain.
Or just some cliched like
Mhm.
historic fiction story.
And
bad guy.
then going on to the region, going on to the Galar region, I love the idea that it's based on England. But there's just one catch with that, and that is, like, yes, the wild areas, they are different, but they just did not feel interesting to me. They're vast. They're big,
completely disagree.
They're big, expansive, and vast. Great. They change
Weather.
scenery. Great. Granted, there's one thing I have to say, and that is the fact that I'm not interested in this kind of is an anomaly considering how much I loved Breath of the Wild, which is pretty. And
You ever
like the
played
wild areas
Xenoblade?
really feel like Breath of the Wild, but with Pokemon, there's just something I just can't really describe it. It just doesn't.
It actually reminds me more of Xenoblade, where the monsters are roaming around and you can target them. And I kind of wonder if we can do the same thing here, where we can target the Pokemon to see its name, its level, its nature.
I mean, you can kind of do that in Breath of the Wild too, but not really.
That you don't have that little thing that pops up
Yeah.
like in Xenoblade that shows all the information.
Yeah, you just get. Oh, there's an enemy here. Oh, there's more than one. Oh, they're all coming after me. I'm about to die. I
The
died.
fact is, you're not wrong. It's like they look fine on its own, but then it's like, what would the real game would look like if they they would just upgrade the Roman backgrounds.
The final thing, and the thing that irks me the most about this game is that there's some. I have a feeling now. I'm not sure if this is going to be actually true or not, but I have a feeling that the gyms, the stadiums, they're all just going to be stadiums, similar to the one that we saw in the Direct.
If you look at
And-
the map, you can actually see 6 of them, and they are all stadiums. That's kind of the theme.
But the thing is about that, one of my favorite aspects of Pokemon is the themed gym puzzles, where you go through and fight various trainers. You can train a little bit more off of them, and you can also understand the theming of the gym a lot better.
Yeah, I haven't
you
really
can't really-
played too much Pokemon, but I like that part of it.
You can't really do. I don't know how they would do that with the stadium if they do that at all. And I'd
Well,
be very
if they
sad
did.
if don't do
They
that.
They might try to make it like Generation 4 for like puzzles, or like double or triple battles.
If they did, I could see 2 things. One, the puzzles are outside the gym, and the puzzle is getting into the gym.
That would be interesting, actually. I do like that.
Or, if you've ever seen the anime, they kind of take these battle arenas and change them out willy-nilly. So maybe it starts out as the puzzle, and then it, like, flips over to the battle arena
Like,
for their
or it
battle
could-
against the leader.
Or it could be some kind of like big event where you have to go through a gauntlet before you get there. But we'll see what happens with that. Another thing that we're gonna have another best friend rival instead of like we're not gonna have a Gary. We're gonna have a May.
They said one of the rival.
Oh,
I don't see Hop being a very interesting character.
Okay,
I'm just
but
gonna
he's
say
only
that.
one of the rival.
Well, that is also true. And final thing I want to mention. I'm sorry, I'm being so negative right now, but I wasn't a huge fan of that Direct Dynamaxing.
I didn't care for it either.
Dynamaxing. I mean, Mega Evolutions. I mean, they were gimmicky. They were.
It's
now
like,
they're
what
dead.
is this? Godzilla mixed with Power Rangers?
Why do you think they mentioned Godzilla at the Pokemon Sleep announcement?
The thing about Dynamaxing, they mention how it's strategic. You can only do it once in a game or in a battle.
It only lasts 3
It
turns.
only lasts
only
3
in
turns.
certain places. It only works in gyms
Mhm.
and certain spots in the wild area.
Wait, does
My
it?
question. Yes, that is true. So here's the thing about that. Dynamaxing isn't as much of a strategic move as much as it is a reaction to the other person doing it.
I feel like that's kind of the case too.
It like they mention how it's strategic, but I think it's anything but. It's just going to be, I'm going to use it now because you used it, or I'm going to use it now because you probably are about to use it.
Well, except during the raid battle, though, because that opponent is always giant.
Yeah, it's
The
kind
raid
of like Pokemon Go in the field, and it's like, oh, Pokemon Go, yay!
The raid battles were the multiplayer raid battles were the main thing that interested me during that direct. I think that's going to be very interesting.
And I think
would
it's cool
hope
how
that-
they gave you the incentive that you can unlock certain Pokemon for your wild area by beating them. Some are exclusive to that.
And there is
You're not
one
wrong.
very positive thing I can say about Dynamaxing, and that is Dynamaxed Wailord. That cannot not. There is no possible way that.
Oh
hilarious.
no! Oh no!
There's no possible way that is not hilarious.
You know,
I s-
Wailord's
I
not
swear
going
to God,
be in this game.
If
right?
Wailord is confirmed to be in this game, I am just all right.
See,
I see how it
Wailord's
is.
Wailord's one of my favorite Pokemon just because it's just funny by concept, but also usable. But oh my god, if you Dynamax a Wailord, it's just
You know, you fucked up.
There's a really funny comic I saw of a Pikachu reacting to Wailord use Body Slam. It's just it's just like Pikachu staring up under the looming shadow of a Wailord, looking as though it's about to, looking as if it's craving for mercy. That's the thought that I'm thinking of. But like as soon as like a Wailord comes out in the stadium, like all of the stadium goers are just going to be praying to Arceus that they don't Dynamax it.
It's just like as big as the stadium, and just everyone gets crushed.
Oh god.
It's just like, I'm gonna send out my Dynamax Wailord, and then everyone in the stadium died.
I mean, pretty much. I mean,
So, yeah, I don't know. I'm intrigued by the open area. It seems like this could be a more non-linear game. I'm not totally down on the new designs, and that direct turned this into a day one purchase for me when it wasn't before.
I mean, I'm particularly particular. Great words. I don't know. I'll probably.
I'm wondering
still buy
something
it.
with those. I'm wondering some of those raid battles though. Is it gonna be like, is only one of the trainers gonna be able to catch the Pokemon, or does everyone get it?
If it's just one person gets that Pokemon, that's just gonna kill the whole thing.
Yeah, I think
They're probably
Yeah,
gonna do
I
something
think
similar to what they
that
did in
one person. Yeah, I think that one person would actually get the Pokemon.
or maybe none of them do. Because
Well,
they
then
said
what
that
would be
you
the
can
point?
do it to make the Pokemon show up in your wild area, so maybe no one actually gets the Pokemon, it just shows up in all their areas for them to catch later.
The incentive isn't to catch the Pokemon, but as much as gain the ability to catch it.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Maybe.
that could be it.
Anyway, I've got nothing more to talk about, and also I want to make ravioli.
dried up.
Ravioli, give
Really
me the
give me the
formuloli.
formuloli. So, well,
Oh, that reminds me that SpongeBob is being remade, yeah.
oh yes, Battle for
Wait,
Bikini
what?
Bottom is being remade,
Oh yeah,
or as
heard about that.
they call it, rehydrated.
Rehydrated.
That makes me rehydrated for more.
Does that mean it'll be better than Spyro, who got reignited, and the fire's gonna be put out by the hydration?
No offense to Spyro, but he kind of put his own fire sometimes.
Yeah, especially on the trilogy for just one game only and the 2 in DLC.
Wait, both trilogies, the main character is voiced by Tom Kenny.
Shots fired.
Half-Life 3 confirmed for E3 2019, just because of that.
Valve just storms the stage. Excuse me, we have something to say.
We still
Portal
exist.
Portal 3.
Valve's just like, I come here to make an announcement. We can count to 3 now.
1, 2, 2.1, 2.2. 3.
2.8 reduct. What was that Kingdom Hearts game called?
358 over 2.
No.
Otherwise known as 179. Although that's not as good of a name. Who imagines just like
No.
Kingdom Hearts 179. Wasn't the last game like 2?
Oh, that's what Bethesda should have done.
Yeah,
They should
that's
have
right,
called it,
too.
They should
That-
have called it Fallout 150.
152
I
over
can't
2.
do math right now.
The
Hold
number
on.
you're looking for is
Hold-
152.
That one.
Yes, that one. Anyway, I think it's about time we do some closing remarks. I think we'll start off with Azran because he is first in alphabetical order.
This has been Azran127. Music on YouTube, streams on Twitch.
Kirbun.
Guys, it's your turn.
Oh, is that it? Oh, okay. I'm
How long
Kirbun.
was this again?
An hour and a half.
Oh yeah.
I'm Kirbun. You'll mostly just see me in the comments if you see the YouTube channel Handsomely. That's me, and I'm active on my Switch sometime. And I guess at the end of the day, I can't even think of anything.
At
But
the
this
end of the
actually worked
day,
out
it's
pretty well
night.
for me. At the end of the day, it's night.
I have been Rowan. You might see me in YouTube comments because I mean, whatever. That's what I do sometimes. Very rarely. I don't make anything myself. Aside from like random stuff that I send to my friends unlisted. But if you join the Discord, you'll be seeing me all over the place because I am here a bunch. This was even recorded in the Discord. So, I mean, yeah, I've been Rowan. You might see me Demon Prince Rowan or Rowan Prince of the Demons or some form of that because that's just what I do. I roleplay as a demon prince because I hate my own life. And finally, our final person of finality.
Who's still
What?
here?
TMNIsaac.
Why, thank you. This has been TMNIsaac, spelled with 2 A's, not two S's. I am on YouTube. I have my own YouTube channel ever since 2010. I'm also on Behind the Voice Actors for animation and obscure cartoons, especially recorded from Vancouver. And you might also see my channel on Discord, which I am recording from this point. And that's all I have to say.
All right. Thank you for joining in. And we'll be seeing. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you. And good whatever part of the day you're watching this. Night, evening, morning.
E3.
And
E3.
here's hoping for a good E3.
See you, Mario Maker.
Or in the comments of Chugga's Chrono Trigger LP.
Yeah, really.
Nest drunk.
So let's get a couple things straight right off the bat. Part of my job is finding a way for you, the game experts, to have fun. At the same time, I understand if you're among the terminally hip, Nintendo isn't your only choice for gaming. We know that this is your third stop on the press tour over the last 24 hours. We know what you've seen and heard, so let me draw a comparison. One of our competitors is a manufacturer in Japan who wants to capture every one of your entertainment dollars, transporting all your content between all your electronics devices on their memory sticks. We're not that company. And there's another company out there who doesn't care what you do as long as you do it on their operating system. We're not that company either. He with the best games wins. Always been that way, always will.